Mercedes electric car prototype kills main argument for hydrogen cars. Subscribe to Electric Vehicle News Bitesize podcast for free. Electric Vehicle News Bitesize is now featured in FeedSpot Top 40 electric vehicle podcasts. The Vision EQXX has a real-world range of 1,000 kilometers, much longer than fuel cell rivals, and is twice as efficient as existing electric vehicles. In May 2021, Toyota revealed to the world that its new second-generation Mirai fuel cell vehicle had traveled 1,003 kilometers, 623 miles, on a single tank of fuel, with 9 kilometers remaining, demonstrating a hydrogen-powered vehicle's unique selling point. This week, Mercedes announced that its battery-powered prototype Vision EQXX could travel 1,008 kilometers on a single charge, with a remaining range of about 140 kilometers, suggesting that fuel cell vehicles don't have super range. Toyota's 1,000-kilometer effort, in a car with an official real-world range of 402 miles, 647 kilometers, requires an eco-friendly way of driving, but not a special technology that everyday drivers can apply. The company said, but did not say how long it took the 4 different drivers. Mercedes' 1,000 kilometers, on a vehicle that claims an actual range of more than 1,000 kilometers, was done in 11.5 hours, and its route through the Swiss Alps, including roadworks, averaged 87.4 kilometers per hour, 54.3 miles per hour. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of the Vision EQXX isn't its range. After all, there are already several electric vehicles on the market with longer range than the Mirai, but its efficiency. The Toyota Mirai has a longer range than its only fuel cell production rival, the Hyundai Nexo, covering 1,000 kilometers on 5.6 kilograms of hydrogen, which contains 186.6 kilowatt-hours of usable energy. Mercedes uses just 87 kilowatt-hours of electricity on the road, making it twice as efficient as its own electric vehicles and Tesla's long-range Model S. This means that it would be twice as cheap to run as today's serially produced electric vehicles. Rather than simply increasing the size of the battery, the cross-functional, international team focused on maximizing long-distance efficiency, said Mercedes-Benz. They pulled out all the stops in drivetrain efficiency, energy density, aerodynamics and lightweight design. Yet while Mercedes has no plans for the Vision EQXX to enter commercial production, the company explains, this new blueprint for automotive engineering has delivered a new benchmark for electric vehicle efficiency and range, and the technology in the Vision EQXX will be deployed in upcoming series production Mercedes vehicles. So if range is no longer a winning argument for fuel cell cars, what is? They certainly don't take into account cost. Both the Mirai and Nexo cost more to buy than comparable electric vehicles and 3 to 10 times as expensive to run as a domestic electric vehicle. And they certainly don't gain in environmental friendliness, since most of the world's hydrogen available for fuel comes from gray H2, which is made from unabated natural gas. Toyota gives the new Mirai fuel consumption at 0.86 kgh2/100 kilometers, so running on gray H2 the Mirai emits around 94 kg/km. Whilst the Nexo, 1 kgh2/100 kilometers, emits around 109 kg/km, wrote analyst IDTechX in February. These figures are only a marginal improvement on the CO2 tailpipe emissions of modern combustion engines. The only way hydrogen cars make sense, assuming they run on green H2, is if you can't charge an electric vehicle at home, it can be topped up with a pump much faster than at a public electric vehicle charging station. At least for now. Last year, Swiss tech giant ABB unveiled a 360 kilowatts charger that it said was capable of fully charging any electric vehicle in 15 minutes or less. It is a brave government that commits to large public spending to support the purchase of fuel cell vehicles on the promise that one day the fuel will be available to make them low emission. There are substantial production and distribution challenges to overcome to make H2 a cost-effective zero-emission automotive fuel, said IDTechX. Fuel cell vehicles have lost their previous advantages in range and fast charging and are unlikely to remain competitive with battery-powered electric vehicles, an independent German research institute said. The urgency of the climate crisis means the world should focus on accelerating the rollout of battery-powered cars and fast-charging infrastructure, rather than hydrogen fuel cell cars and trucks and hydrogen refueling stations, according to a study in the journal Nature Electronics. Hydrogen will play a vital role in industry, shipping and synthetic aviation fuels. But for road transport, we cannot, I believe, wait for hydrogen technology to catch up, and our focus now should be on battery electric vehicles in both passenger and freight transport, writes Dr. Patrick Plotz, coordinator of the Energy Economy Business Unit at the Fraunhofer Institute for Systems and Innovation Research, ISI, in Germany. As far as Plotz is concerned, The window of opportunity to establish a relevant market share for hydrogen cars is as good as closed. He noted that early last year, there were about 25,000 hydrogen fuel cell vehicles on the road, with 2 FCEV models available for sale, Toyota Mirai and Hyundai Nexo, and about 540 hydrogen fueling stations in operation worldwide. In contrast, by the beginning of 2022, there are likely to be about 15 million battery electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles on the road across the world. Almost all manufacturers now sell such vehicles, with more than 350 models available globally, Plotz says. While the majority of battery electric vehicle drivers currently charge at home, as of 2020, some 1.3 million public charging stations are in operation, a quarter of which are fast chargers, at least 22 kilowatts, while there are 300 kilowatts chargers at 1,000 public charging stations now available in Europe. Plotz suggests that recent technological developments mean that FCEVs no longer have a raison d'etre. When battery electric vehicles had limited ranges of under 150 kilometers, and charging took a few hours, there was an important and large market segment for fuel cell vehicles, long-distance travel. The higher energy density of compressed hydrogen, compared with battery electric vehicles, and the ability to refuel within only a few minutes, made fuel cell vehicles potentially ideal for frequent long-distance trips. But battery electric vehicles now offer about 400 kilometers real-world range, and the newest generation use 800 volts batteries, which can be charged for a range of 200 kilometers in about 15 minutes. He adds, many of the ongoing investments in hydrogen cars seem to follow the sunk cost fallacy. We have already spent so much on this technology, let's not give up now. But with economies of scale in full effect for batteries, and with further cost reductions and performance improvement of electric vehicles and charging infrastructure coming, fuel cell cars are highly unlikely to be able to compete. The hydrogen-powered truck industry is also less advanced than battery-powered trucks, Plotz said, noting that there are 30,000 battery electric trucks in stock globally, most of them in China. Fuel cell electric trucks, on the other hand, have only been operated in test trials, from 2 manufacturers, to date and are not yet commercially available, he explains, adding that more than 150 battery electric truck models have already been announced for medium and heavy freight. Subscribe to the Electric Vehicle News Bitesize podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Deezer, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, Ghana, Samsung Podcasts, Google News, and the Electric Vehicle News Bitesize Alexa skill. For more articles and episodes, visit 10 cheapest UK cities to run an electric car. Mercedes electric car prototype kills main argument for hydrogen cars.